Look at this, familiar confines, and we are going 4 for 4. Happy Thursday. Let's talk about dating. It's a hot button issue, and we're going to talk about finding work. And we're going to combine them together because there's a lot of parallels, not a one to one, but certainly similarities between the two. When you look at how interviews take place, both sides mutually attracted to each other, trying not to show too much of the other because you don't want to scare the other person off. Red flags, right? You don't want to show too many of your own red flags. And that's perfectly normal. There's a difference between deception and withholding things until a later date. And the difference is you don't need to date somebody, but you do need to work generally to pay and afford some kind of a lifestyle. And that's where things do get a little bit dangerous because a lot of what happens, certainly on the employer side, is a lot of things are deceptive. They're not just withheld, they're deceptive. Like if you see a job saying that they offer paid time off, they offer all these benefits, and then you get there and the benefits really aren't all that good. You took a job thinking you were going to get something, and you are getting something completely different. And then you have to make a decision, right? This is where it gets back to being similar to a relationship. What are you willing to tolerate as you get to know this individual, you get to know this employer? What are you willing to tolerate that maybe moves the marker of what would have been a bright red line? Maybe that line moves a couple of steps back. So that is really the big parallel between the two. And it is heavily tilted towards the employer because people need to work. And they use that to their leverage to get people in, banking that they're probably not going to leave once they're in. But what that creates, certainly on the employee side, is you are now a distressed asset. You are not happy to be there. And while the employer might be getting productivity out of you, they are also getting something that could potentially be a toxic presence inside of the workplace, because once things tend to go bad in the workplace, they very rarely get better. It's usually going to be a snowball until that person is out. And that is just not a great way to live. So, yeah, jobs, dating. I actually have a different dating video that I was going to do because there's been some interesting traction on social media as it relates to dating discourse. And I think that I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but I think there might be some hijinks afoot into what's being pushed into the algorithm. But we will save that for a later date. Maybe I will go 5 for 5 with that tomorrow. Like, subscribe, engage, get you in the next one.